Welcome guys. What I'm going to do today is teach you guys how to make fancy text for your videos. So fancy text can be used for many things such as your thumbnails, your in your video overlays and stuff like that. You can make for your banners or logos and stuff like that. So it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make fancy text for your videos. So before we start, please be sure to check out my channel. So with that being said, let's get started. So first thing I want to do is open Photoshop. Make this new, click on file, new, make the width to around 2560. We are going to take the banner size, channel art size, and make this 423, and this can be 72 or 30. I usually go with 30, and make sure it's transparent, and then click OK. So you will have this canvas right here, and that looks cool enough. So now what you're going to do is add text for your videos. So before you start, just make the color components are totally like default. So just press D on your keyboard and it will make it default, like black and white. So now what you want to do is click on the text and start adding text which we want to make fancy. So the first thing we want to do is add text. So I usually take the font Molot, so I'm gonna go with Molot. It seems cool when we are making fancy text. And with that being said, so now we are typing a text. So for suppose such as we are fancy. We are fancy. Cool, isn't it? So just make this white. I'll just make this white. And then I'm gonna just make it bigger. Just press this check mark over here and make the text bigger. Control T. Be sure to hold shift when you're doing this, because that will keep it in proportional. So the text is bigger right now, and we are gonna, oh, shall I make it more bigger? I think it's gonna be better if I make it more bigger. Oops. So that's it. So now the text is big enough to be made fancy. So that was it, and now we're gonna add like colors and stuff like that to make it even fancier. So first thing I want to do is click on this VR fancy text, go to blending options, and add a gradient overlay. So first, there are many options over here which we're going to explore as we go, and the first thing we are going to do is add a gradient overlay. So when you click on gradient overlay, it will usually appear like this. So before we start actually adding the gradient, we have to click on this gradient tab over here, and then this thing will appear, and then make this black at the center and make the white exactly over it. So that will give you this effect, exactly horizontal, like dividing black and white, and then you can adjust it however you want. So I usually keep it at the center, and once you do that, make the opacity less. So for example, like this much is okay, something like that. Yeah, cool enough. So you have this thing right now. Don't worry, it's looking black and white right now, but we're gonna add colors to it very soon. So this is okay now, something like that. So that makes it really cool. We can add some inner glow also. Inner glow is the effect which is coming out inside it. So make the opacity something 100%, and make size, just make a little bit more. Like I'll show you what inner glow is. Yeah, that thing coming out over here, as you can see. So too much inner glow doesn't make it look good, so around this much. Yep, cool enough. So that makes it cool. And we can add, what else, a drop shadow, or no, a stroke will be better. So a stroke, I usually keep a stroke around 9 to 10, so something like this, so your text is well outlined and well visible. Now what you want to do is click on OK, and then just make the text center. If you do want to make the text like really center, press Ctrl A, click on layer, align layers to selection, vertical centers, and layer again, align layers to selection, horizontal centers. So that actually centers your text really properly, and then press Ctrl D to deselect it. So now for example, you want to change the color of this V text over here. So what you want to do is now click on the text tool, highlight this V, and then click on, what do you say, You can add a gradient overlay, or you can just click on colors. That'll also do the job. So for example, I want a red color dark. So as you can see over here, it makes it light dark, and so you can actually check which color do you want. For example, I can just go with, for example, we just take this red over here. So that makes it look really cool over here right now. So as you can see, there's this thing over here. So this gives a really cool effect. It really gives out a fancy effect also. As you can see that our stroke looks a little less, so we can actually double click on the stroke over here, and for example make the stroke 10 or 11. So that gives out a really good effect now. And the same thing you can do with these also. So now we're going to change the color of R. It looks good if you keep changing with different colors. So for example like this, yellow green looks good, right? Kind of. How about orange? You could just mess out with the colors and see which color do you actually like. For example, we go for this cyan color over here. Yep, this makes it look really cool. Yeah, this is cool enough. And then we'll make this fancy text actually fancy. So go here, check which color do you want. Not pink, let's see, green. Okay, let's go with green. So that's how you make the first step of making your text fancy. So once you have this, again drag in and overline however you want it to be. So now we could explore more. Click on blending options, right click and then click on blending options. You can actually add a bevel and emboss, makes it look a little 3D. And then you could give a, what do you say, drop shadow or outer glow. Drop shadow and outer glow. So for example, you go outer glow, click on size, make the size bigger. So that will give an outer glow. You can change your color over here. For example, let's take in, which color do you want? Around red. How would red look? Let's see. So as you can see, we got this pretty cool red effect or a shadow type of thing coming here, and that makes it look pretty cool. So since B is also made of red, so we can just take in some color which is not common, such like yellow. Yeah, so that makes it look pretty cool and fancy. So now you could just mess up with the size again, make it a little less and stuff like that, just to make it cool. It's your choice totally. I'm just showing how to make text fancy, and you could make it however you want. So, and then drop shadow, try to make the opacity something like, actually, if you have stroke, drop shadow is not necessary very much, but you can actually mess with it. It makes it look a little shadowy and stuff like that. So once you have this, click on OK, and then you'll see all these lists of options that we have added. If you take this FX out, it's gonna look like this. So now what you're gonna do is make this text a little bit tilted so that we can make it look even fancier. So what you want to do is click on your magic wand tool over here, and then we'll make E slanting. So click on that and then press Ctrl T. It will say that you have to rasterize the layer or else it won't happen. So right click here and click on rasterize type, and then press Ctrl T. And so now you can see you can tilt the text a little bit, something like this, just to make it look even fancier. For example, I tilt it a little bit like this. So we're gonna do it with every alternate one. Now I'm gonna move ahead to R and make this tilted also. And then I'm gonna move over to A, make this tilted, something like that, and then C and make this tilted too. So that really gives out a really fancy effect. So press Ctrl D to deselect, and that gives out a really broken text and fancy effect. And now if you want to add like some 3D look, you could actually go click on duplicate layer and just name it whatever you want. We are a fancy copy, okay? And then once you click here, go to your layer, go to your image, click on adjustments and click on levels. You can also do that by pressing Ctrl L and then make this whole black. So you will see that it looks pretty ugly right now. Just move it below the original layer, something like this. So now you have this, and then go to your mouse tool and then drag it a little bit like this. I mean, drag your copy layer, something like that. And then before you do that, just remove, or if you like it like that, you could also make it like this, or you can remove all the effects except the stroke. All the effects except the stroke. So that makes it look cool, isn't it? And that really makes it kind of 3D, if you say, but with that yellowy stuff over there, it doesn't look. So you could actually remove the outer glow that we added, and see, now you have got fancy text and it looks really cool. So if you do want to add some more effects to it, you could actually mess around with the blending options and move this thing right here and there just to make the shadowy part any way you like. You could add drop shadow if you like I'll show you. Go to drop shadow over here, and then for example, like when I do my thumbnails, I usually add this drop shadow 55 and 33, something like that. So that makes it look, you see over here, and make this 100%. So you see you have got that little dropping shadow and make it look a little dark. So once you have done this, and if you're satisfied with your text, just click both of them and press Ctrl E. So that'll actually merge this text, and then you've got your fancy text. So that's all about it for this video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. My name is Ryzen, description, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. My name is Ryzen, and I'll see you guys in my next video.